We up.
We are so up.
So up right now. Speaking of being up, welcome back to the I Hate Your Team podcast where we hate your team. I'm joined with my co-hosts Spit and Caleb. I'm Nick. Let's get in.
All right, guys. First thing up, I believe I've identified a new mutant. I
Who's
was
that?
watching I was watching the Vikings Texans game. I watched the Texans O-line false start 3 snaps in a row and then on the fourth illegal formation. And this made me think that Kevin O'Connell might be Professor X.
I knew this is where it was gonna go. Actually, that's so sick, dude. He might be.
He's using his mind powers to get them to draw off sides.
Dude, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see when he plays the Packers this week. The
that's what
first.
I'm saying.
This is the first NFC North divisional game, like movie.
True. Is
Yeah,
that today?
yeah. Today. This podcast will
At,
probably be airing on Monday, but yeah, today.
at 1 o'clock?
Yep, at the 1 o'clock time slot.
Sweet. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one, man. Now,
It
is it
will.
Kevin or is it Sam Darnold? I could buy that Sam's a little bit of a mutant as well.
I don't think he's like Professor X in it. I think that's like a Kevin O'Connell thing.
True,
Yeah,
but he's doing something weird.
Hmm.
Like playing well. Haven't seen that
maybe
ever.
he's juicing.
Dude, that'd be an insane plot twist. Sam Darnold gets suspended because he's on fucking roids. The
Random drug test when they
yeah,
beat the Packers.
pull up. Fucking dude, they might. I kind of have this. I had my preseason predictions. Like unironically, I think we went over this in episode 1. I have this as a lock. I had this as a lock that the Vikings will win before anything in the season happened. I was like, the Vikings will manage to find a way to fucking win this one, and they
Damn.
fucking just might.
That would mean that they're 4-0.
That's the thing is I don't know if I think this team is good enough to be 4-0. So I just almost can't. I put in my the prediction sheet that I have them losing because I'm not gonna ever say that I think the Vikings will win.
Yeah.
The Packers are also doing a lot of goofy shit where they're fucking running. They're like, yo, we're not telling anybody who the starter is. Like, it might be Willis, but Jordan Love might be healthy enough to play, yo. Like, oh, so that the defenses can't fucking plan for shit. But the Brian
Yeah.
Flores defense is the same every time. It's just blitz a million times.
Yeah.
Like, the Brian Flores, when he plays against Jordan Love, is just going to fucking blitz. And if he does that, he's going to lose. Like, sorry. We also get a Jair Justin Jefferson rematch that we haven't had in like fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
Last time they played, Jair locked Jefferson up. He had like 2 receptions for like 14 yards.
Yeah, I've got Green Bay winning
Hmm.
today. I don't know. I just don't trust the Vikings, man.
I don't either. I kind of
But
think this might be. I don't know how I feel about this the Packers defense. Like as a Packers fan, it's tough to like read because I kind of am of the opinion that I think this might be the best defense the Vikings have played. But then I look back and it's like the Vikings have played the Niners and the Texans. Preseason, I would have said the Packers is worse than both of those. But I don't know if I still think that. I think the Texans might have been a little bit overhyped, and the Niners are just so fucking banged up that it might just not even matter.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So you
Niners
say
have been disappointing me as well on that defensive front. Go ahead, Drew.
you say it's hard to predict as a Packers fan. Are you sure that's not just a you issue with having difficulty reading?
Well, I'm not reading shit. I don't read stats. I just know. I just know shit. I just pull up and I just eyeball everything. Well, because like my biggest issue is that I feel like we've played like one good team, and that was the Eagles, and we played really well. But then we've played like two teams that the defensive strategy so far has been kind of proving to be fairly consistent and are both 0-3. And it's like, is this defense that good, or did these teams just suck that bad?
Right.
Because like even still, aren't the Eagles 1-3, 1-2? Or are they 2-1 now? I don't remember what they're.
Two,
No, they're two and
two
one. They're
and
2-1. They
one.
beat the Saints. They beat the Saints. They're 2-1.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But like struggle, like yeah, like so I don't really know how to feel about this defense, and for me the Vikings game is kind of where I might lock it in. Like, is this like I feel like it's top 10, but like against the Titans, it kind of looked like maybe top 5 in the league, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't ever want to be of the opinion that the Packers have a top 5 defense because I feel like that's just setting me up to be hurt.
Possibly.
Hmm.
But right now it's looking pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, they're leading in interceptions, right?
Hmm. Like I bet if I sat down and thought about it, I could probably list 5 defenses that I think are better than the Packers, and that's where I'm at.
Hmm. Okay.
I don't know how factual that is, but we've never had a good defense, and so I don't want to go and be like, yeah, man, our defense is super good right now, and then it just isn't.
Dude, I've seen enough Packers defenses that are good.
Hmm.
So
Well, not. I mean, they're just good against the Bears. There's the difference there. Is that our best performances just come against the Bears? They,
defense looks elite.
yeah. The Packers defense locks in when the Bears come to town,
Yeah.
or they go to town.
It's got the throwback on today.
Dude, that's so sick. Justin Fields is kind of balling a little bit.
He's balling out the other day. He went on an interview podcast,
I think I saw this.
and yeah, probably did.
Hmm.
Somebody said, so when it comes to the Steelers coaches versus the Bears coaches, do you notice a difference? And Justin said, it's not close.
That's a factual statement. That's so tough.
He said it is not close. Now, keep in mind that Fields went through. Okay, so he came in with Nagy and his whole regime, and then the entire firing of all of those guys,
Hmm.
and then all the Flus guys, and yeah, and obviously they did the whole firing last off season
Hmm.
and got rid of Justin. So, hey
It's
man,
tough.
hopefully these guys are on par with the Steelers. I don't fucking know. Steelers are one of the most successful franchises ever. So
I unfortunately just don't put the Bears up there as being on that caliber. And this isn't like to diss on the Bears. It's just the Steelers have been one of the most well run
yeah,
coaching wise organizations of all time. That I just kind of
yeah,
don't doubt that the Steelers are coaching at a level more better than most teams in the NFL, even if their record isn't showing it.
right,
Hmm.
right.
Well, in that vein, I'm looking at the Athletics 2024
Ooh.
executive and coach poll
Hmm.
for best front offices. I would like you guys to guess which teams receive the most first place best front office votes.
So now
Ooh,
is this just like general management and then the front office, or is this including coaching staff?
So this is poll of 40 people, 35 executives, and 5 coaches.
wow.
Okay.
Chiefs
So
is on there, 100%.
Nah, dude, I don't think Chiefs is. They
I think
got
Chiefs is on there.
I remember like last offseason they had so much drama because the owner cheaped out on the locker room. Wait, is this from executives or is this from players?
this is a poll of 35 executives and
Oh,
5 coaches on which team
mhm.
has the best front office.
Okay, never mind. I'm capping.
Okay.
Packers has to be up there. I'd be damn shocked if the Packers aren't up there because they're always up there in lists like that.
I could
Packers
see
did
them being up there.
Packers didn't.
Packers did not receive a single first place best front office vote. Four,
Wow.
te- four teams, I believe, received a single vote.
Yeah,
Or
I'm gonna
sorry,
guess three. One of them is definitely one of my guesses is Kansas. Um, for front office, Jesus,
Is it like all
maybe
time or just right now?
I'd assume this
probably
would be
right.
like right now.
I'm gonna
Looking at the list, it's
if
definitely
it's
like
right
right
now,
now.
then I'm gonna guess the Lions are up there just because of like the recency bias. But if it's like all time, then they're definitely not.
Don't tell me they put the Cowboys up there, dude.
Oh, dude, if they put the Cowboys, this list is
Don't tell
fraudulent.
me.
If you tell me, I don't even
Don't
want to
tell
hear the
me.
rest because they're frauds.
Yeah, if
All
they
right.
did, it's rigged.
Yeah.
So the graph here shows like it was some sort of like ranked choice type
Okay.
of ballot.
Uh-huh. So like
So
you
I
put
was
like
just
a top
asking you
three.
guys about like first place votes.
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys did receive a single first place best front office vote, but they did not score in the top 10 of total vote points.
Okay.
They're basically in an
Oh.
addendum.
Oh, you're just asking for first place votes. I thought you were just asking for total. Like,
Yes.
are we just the totals points scored?
No, we're just
Oh.
here for first place. So
Yep.
they are one of 4 teams to receive a single first place vote.
Okay, well
And
that's.
I also
well, we
would
know who
probably
that is. That was
guess
Jerry Jones.
the LA Rams.
the Rams received 1 first place vote.
Okay. And Kansas City.
Kansas City received 13 first place votes, which is second most.
Damn.
Are the Steelers up there?
The Steelers received 1 first place vote.
Who's number 1, dude?
Wait, did we not guess number 1?
Have not guessed number 1.
Is it obvious?
Not surprising. It's reasonable.
Reasonable.
You have
Is
not
San
guessed.
Francisco.
San Francisco received 3 first place votes, which is fourth most.
Okay. No, I'm not sure, dude.
Is it like the Ravens?
The Ravens received 15 first place votes.
That was
I was
a
gonna
weird
say
one to me.
Baltimore, dude, but I feel like they've made interesting decisions that would knock them out of that.
I guess I would have had to look more into the criteria for how they were evaluated. So what's the top 5 just total points?
So the 4 teams that received, for total overall points, Ravens received the most first place and the second most others for first overall by a lot. Kansas City received 13 first place and then some other ones to be second most total. The Niners received 3 first place and a bunch of others, putting them at third place total. The Eagles received 5 first place and a moderate number of others, putting them fourth total.
That's unfair. That's unfair.
I think
The
that's
Eagles
rigged.
front office is just homeless people.
That's facts. I would have thought that the Eagles would have been bumped because of the fact that they've gone through like 3 sets of offensive coordinators in the past 3 years. I mean, offensive and defensive coordinators in the past 3 years. But that's just me.
The Lions did not receive a first place vote, but did receive a moderate number of others, which puts them in 5th total. The Packers are 6th total, just behind the Lions, also not receiving a first. A hair behind the Packers are the Seahawks, who received 1 first place vote and some others. Behind them is the Rams, who received 1 first place vote and some others. Then the Bills, who received some others. And then in 10th place total is the Steelers with 1 first place vote and a few others.
I don't hate that list. It's like weird, but like it kind of makes sense for the most part. Like the Eagles and the Bills are the teams that stand out to me as like, I don't know if I'd necessarily say these are good front offices at the moment, but it's not like egregious.
It's tough. Bills got a good staff, but
they do. They just
they're just cursed, man. They're just
that's
cursed.
facts. That's maybe more accurate.
We're gonna get and then some addendum notes. 2 other teams received top 5 votes: the Texans and the Browns. The Cowboys appeared on 1 ballot, and that was a first place vote.
That was totally Jerry Jones. If Jerry Jones was fucking interviewed, it was totally him. That fucking bum was like, "We run the best organization in the goddamn town, bro." No, I'm gonna go say the N-word.
Classic Jerry.
Dude, classic Jerry, man.
Absolute classic.
What a goat. Not really.
Nick, you listened to that new Bill Simmons episode?
Dude, I can't stand Bill Simmons right now, bro.
That new one was pretty good.
Was it? Fuck, I'll give it a listen.
Talks about, I guess Skip Bayless wrote 3 books about the Cowboys in 5 years. And on one of the
Bro, that's like Alexander Hamilton writing 51 fucking Federalist Declarations right there. That's literally what that is. Like, on God.
And then, this was like in the 90s when the Cowboys were goated. And in one of them, he says that The morning of one of the Cowboys' Super Bowls, Skip Bayless had breakfast with Jerry Jones at the hotel the morning of the Super Bowl.
That's so wild.
Good God.
Dude,
Yeah,
fuck Skip
Skip is
Bayless.
such a big Cowboys fan.
Dude,
It's
he's such
not
a
even
bitch.
funny.
He's such a bitch. Fuck that guy. I fucking hate that clown.
I
Skip
know. Then you got
sucks.
Shannon, bro.
Dude, yeah, like Shannon's the
Then you
GOAT,
got
bro.
Shannon.
He might have been live doing some freaky stuff on Instagram, but like, dude, dude, fuck Skip. I'll forever stand with Shannon on that one.
Isn't Shannon a Steelers guy?
What?
That sounds right.
I thought he was a Steelers supporter.
He might be. I don't know what team he roots for. I would assume it would be like the Broncos.
He played for the Broncos, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he like roots for the Broncos though. I'd assume that he does. I feel like most players end up rooting for the team that they played for. Maybe that's
Little
not the
bit.
case.
That's true.
Mm. Like I
Been
know
there for a
Peyton.
while.
I know
You do
Peyton roots
good
for the
stuff.
Broncos, and then he played for the Broncos, so I don't know. That's my only justification here.
Yeah, Peyton just wants them to be good again.
He does. He's sad that they're bad.
Although Bo Nix played really well last
He did
last week.
play really well. That was a very
He upset
interesting
Surf.
surprise.
Surf's been transitioning from a Browns fan to a Bucks fan. because of
Honestly,
Baker.
you know what? It's about damn time. It's about goddamn time. Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like he's just gonna follow Baker, and that's like cool. That's chill. I'm proud of him for that one, for realizing that the Browns suck right now. He's just a Baker fan, and that's fine. That's okay. You had a lot of
Hey.
you had a lot of just Tom Brady fans, and they just fucking hop from the Patriots to the Bucks, and that's okay. We root for that.
Dude, I'm a Baker fan.
Dude, I want to see Baker like live. I'd see Baker.
I have seen Baker. Saw
Yeah.
Baker versus Carson Wentz.
That's a fucking insane story. That's
I think
crazy.
Carson threw, it was either 2 or 3 interceptions. It might have been 4. He
Wow.
threw a lot of interceptions.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
It was fun.
That's insane. God,
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
that's absurd. Do we have any other major topics we want to get into? Or I have a kind of like, I guess what I would consider a big topic, unless we want to talk about some smaller stuff and then get into the big juice of it.
No, go ahead.
Drew, you got nothing?
I mean, we could just quickly do the ticket price guess game.
Oh, I'm down to do that. You want to do the Hutch thing too? We can get the all the Lion stuff out of the way.
Ooh, I can't do the Hutch thing right now.
Okay.
But Caleb, just so you know, there is currently in my apartment an authentic version of the Hutch jersey that I have. So I will be doing a comparison.
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Anyways, so I'll be attending
Okay.
Monday Night Football this week. Becca's dad got tickets through VetTix. And
You're going?
I'm going.
Dude,
I'm going
Caleb,
to Monday Night Football.
Caleb, you need to get your dad on this.
Yes, straight
Like,
up.
actually, your
VetTix.
dad needs to get in on this because you're about to be fucking shocked. I don't know the number of how much they paid. We're gonna guess.
Okay.
Let's just say, to start with, VetTix is a great way to get really cheap sports tickets if you're a veteran. Becca's dad goes to hella Michigan State games because he lives in the Lansing area for all sports. So that's something that John could get on if he's interested.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Okay.
for bigger games, I think it's like a lottery system. You know, like Becca's dad put in for the lottery for Michigan State Purdue this year, so we'll see if we get that. But he went in and got it for Monday Night Football. Tickets on Ticketmaster for this section are about $199 a piece. I want you guys to guess what the ticket price was for this group of 4 that will be attending. Total
Price
Total price for 4 tickets.
with fees.
I don't know if VetTix got fees. I just know what he paid.
I'm gonna guess. 420.
420. My guess. Oh, this feels like a. Oh, dude, but they might be supporting the vets like that, bro.
I know, man. I was gonna go lower.
My guess
I
is
decided to go
300.
higher.
I'm gonna guess 300. My initial was 250, but then you said you didn't know if it was fees and stuff. I'd say like 250, just like base. But then if you add like taxes and fees, my guess is it's in the ballpark of 300. So 250 to 300 is my guess.
Yeah, it was a little lower. It was $17.
For all four?
What?
Oh my god. Bro, this is a fucking cheat code.
Robbery.
Dude, Caleb, you got to get your dad on this.
At gunpoint.
Dude, get your dad on this. We'll go to Packers lot. We'll go to Packers Bears, bro.
Dude.
Get all of us
Looking
tickets.
this up right now.
Yeah, hit your dad up. Get all three of us Packers Bears tickets. And then
$17.
wow.
Wow,
Holy
that's gonna be a
fuck.
crazy game, Drew.
Dude, it's tough. I kind of think the
That's
Seahawks are
be
going to win.
live.
Lions never lost in my presence before. I'm just
That's
saying.
true. But the Lions cannot beat the Seahawks. They just always lose the Seahawks for some weird reason.
They struggle.
They do.
They
They
struggle
can't
against
beat
Seattle.
Pete Carroll.
Ooh, you know, that could be the switcheroo here. I kind of like that. Okay.
I'll buy into that.
I'm down to buy into that.
Buy into that.
Okay. Let's get into the main thing that I wanted to talk about today.
Okay.
So we're pretty thoroughly into the 2020s, right? I kind of want to look back on a couple of these draft classes and kind of maybe give a more consensus ranking of how we're viewing a lot of these quarterbacks. We could do this for other position groups maybe in the future, but I think it's interesting because there's a lot of storylines, especially with like the 2020 and 2021 draft classes and how those are kind of coming around. I've put a list of in the doc of like key guys who've started games. That's kind of been my criteria. Just, not going to go through the random what you call it in the draft classes, but like guys who started games. Except for 2024, I went off of if you started in preseason as well. We could maybe do a little bit of that there, or we could just ignore 2024 because it's so recent.
Yeah, I think it's only fair to ignore 2024.
Mm-hmm. We can give a couple mentions, but I think it is a little too recent. So start with 2020. Probably going to end up being the most controversial year. Like what on paper seemed loaded, and at the time seemed fairly obvious as to what we have. I'll just list them out first. We got Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts as like the consensus 5 guys that were drafted in this class who've all made a pretty big impact on their team. If you would have asked 2 years ago what the worst pick in that class was, it would have been Jordan Love. But now I don't know. I don't really think it is. It seems like I could honestly sit here. You could say that any 5 of these guys was the worst pick in this class, and I think there's an argument for it. But I don't think there's an argument for that all 5 of these guys are the best in this class. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, it'd be easy to say Jalen just because of the appearance, Super Bowl appearance.
But then you could also say that Joe Burrow's also made it.
Right. And
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
Joe's probably the best NFL player in this group.
Really?
But he's hurt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that impact the value of a draft pick?
That's true. What do you think is the worst? Like consensus-wise, let's try and get a consensus. I'm of the opinion that it's Tua. Tua's the worst of these 5. But I'd say but I could also, but I don't know how I feel about that still.
Yeah, dude, I'm torn because Herbert hasn't had, like, he had the really great rookie season and he's had success since then, but not to the point where they thought. Not to the point where you're winning playoff games,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I can
Jordan's
agree with that.
done that.
But
Tua has not done that.
See, that's kind of where I'm almost of like, if you're going, like almost everything that I could do is my comparison kind of boils down to Tua versus Justin. And to me, the Justin rookie season is enough for me to say, yeah, that pushes him an edge over Tua. Because I feel like the Justin Tua thing is weird. Where I view Justin's lack of success as more of an organizational issue, and not getting him proper, like not building a proper team, versus Tua, where I kind of do think there's some direct correlation to the failure of the team kind of going a little bit on his shoulders. Maybe not for the most part, but a little bit towards the end of the season, like when it gets cold, you see a definite dip in play from Tua. And that's just something he kind of needs to, they need to work with him a little bit more on.
I'll pick Tua because he's left-handed.
You know what? Fair.
That's fair.
Fuck left-handed
That's fair.
people.
Yeah, I'll say Tua is probably the lowest impact NFL player in this group.
Mhm.
Like, imagine if Justin Herbert was thrown to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Watt.
Honestly, exactly. I think I could swap out any of these quarterbacks for Tua and the team would do better. Except, weirdly enough, Joe Burrow, I'm kind of the thought that it might not be that much different.
I
Well,
mean, Joe
same thing,
Burrow's
dude.
got good
Give
receivers.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
give
Yeah.
Tua like the Green Bay receivers. Do you think he does well? I don't think so. If you
don't
give Tua, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson, I don't think he's getting that many yards. But since he had Tyreek, who
Mhm.
could just run the entire field and get
Yeah.
100 yards,
Mhm.
a single pass.
True. So then do we want to just say that Justin Herbert's 4 then of the list, or do you think that like there's an argument for maybe another person below Herbert?
No,
I
no.
mean, it's hard to say. Like, Jordan Love's only played one season, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, in that one season, he's done more than Herbert has.
Yeah, but it's one season. Like,
Yeah.
True.
try
But also-
to wait like the rookie season that Justin Herbert had
Mhm.
compared to the season that Jordan Love had with multiple years of development without having to play in NFL games. And like, is it really cut and dry that's like more impressive? I think honestly like Love and Herbert are probably in similar tiers.
Probably. I'd also
Probably
like
the same tier.
I'd say I'd like to point out that I think that the argument that you have is valid. But I'd almost like to say that to me, it kind of starts to dwindle off when the success that Herbert has had has just kind of decreased since his rookie year. And to where where some could argue that maybe his prime was when he was in like towards the end of his college career, and now he's kind of just plateaued a little bit. Actually, how old is Herbert?
It's tough because you could also blame, the terrible coaches that were there
Yeah,
for the
yeah, like
Chargers.
the Chargers are like an unserious organization.
I'd like to point out something real quick. Can I point something out?
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Justin Herbert is 1 year older than Jordan Love.
that's fine.
So Herbert
What is age?
when
Was
Herbert
it 26?
he's 26. He started his first year when he was 22. Jordan Love, I believe, would have made Jordan Love 23 when he started his first year. 23, 24.
And they hit him with a giant contract, right?
Mm-hmm. They've both been
5
hit with
year,
giant contracts.
262 million. Good God almighty. So Herbert is making 52.5 million a year.
Love is making not 60 yet. They haven't hit 60. I think it's like 57, 56.
But Love is making 55 million, but he had a signing bonus of 75 million.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's a lot of money. But like, I guess when you get the playoff win, it's pretty much all you got to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much money to pay Jordan right off the bat. But
I mean, I don't know
his
if it's.
time is also coming up, so.
I mean, you also keep in mind that you've seen a couple of years. The organization has seen a couple of years of Jordan Love behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
So like, they've seen more than we have, and they're confident. I'd say they're confident enough to. Oh my God, that cat is just fucking chilling there. Holy Christ.
Dude, what I'm looking at is the cap hit in 2027. Jordan Love's cap hit will be 42.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2028, his cap will be 74 million.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole budget, dude.
So
Jordan's taken at least half of that.
I mean, in theory, so when you're looking at that, I think they're accounting for something that I saw that the cap will go up by at least 20 million in the next 4 years is what the expectation is. So that cap hit becomes a lot less. But you also keep in mind that he'll probably re-sign a contract, and a lot of that gets turned into like a signing bonus.
Sorry, what's Jordan making this year?
55 mil, but his cap hit this year is 20.3.
His contract starts off pretty slow these next 2 years.
So how much is he making this year against the cap?
20 million, like 25
million.
million.
Yeah.
So where's that other 30 something going? What's that about?
That I don't
Looks
think
like
that.
it's being held toward the end of his contract.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
tried to give a
So,
big chunk right off the bat with the
mhm,
signing bonus, but
yep.
yeah.
So like, okay, so he's making 50 something, but he's only against the cap for 20. Does that mean he got the 30 up front?
He got 75 million of the total contract up front.
I
So his
believe
first,
the 50 number is just average between
yeah,
all the years.
Oh, okay.
55 is average of the max contract that he could get. Some of it is incentives.
This year they got wow, this year Jordan Love's gonna make about as much money as Lonzo Ball.
Sick. Um,
Nice.
yeah,
And at the end of
I
his
actually,
contract, he'll be making more than Steph.
mhm.
And in 2027, Jordan Love will be making slightly less than Logic in 2018.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
You mean Logic's label?
Logic, quote from Logic, went 50 million when I went pop, but everybody know when I pick up the mic, bars drop.
Wow, crazy. Okay, so Jordan Love, we're saying at 3. Herbert at 4, right? Is that a fair consensus?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And now we
3.5, 3.7.
okay, fair enough. So now we got the 2 Super Bowlers, Burrow and Herbert and Hurts.
I think Burrow's
Ooh,
definitely a better quarterback than
yeah, I'll take
Jalen
Burrow.
Hurts.
You just
Really?
got Jalen because of the running. Like that's the only thing that I think could push Jalen over. Is the fact that he can run around. But I would take Joe.
Like Jalen's a dog, but Burrow might be goaded. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm honestly of the opposite of this consensus. I think the dog and Jalen to me knocks him over the edge. I think like the slow start every fucking year with Burrow to me is like a problem.
It is concerning.
Like it's weird that it hasn't been fixed, and it almost and I can't tell if it's like a Burrow issue or if this is like an organizational issue. And my thoughts are is that the fact that it's happened now 4 years in a row, like it's happened every year he's played.
Again, like the Bengals are an unserious football organization.
Yeah, but I just feel like that's something you would have addressed by now. That like somewhere along the way we would have been like, Zach Taylor would have been like, we should figure out what the fuck is going on with Burrow right now. Like what's happening?
Yeah.
And but then they kind of don't. And it's like, should we like what's going on here?
I think that Burrow got injured this year because he went platinum.
You know that's true. You know what?
I
Fuck
think
it.
so. I think he went platinum, but he didn't keep it maintained. So he kind of went like ugly blonde.
Yeah, you know
You
that's fair.
know,
That's a fair point.
Well, I'm looking at an injury history of Joe Burrow, even from college.
it's a novel.
So
Yeah.
2017, we got a hand wrist fracture. 2020, we got a chest rib fracture. Late 2020 is ACL and MCL and PCL tear, as well as the meniscus. 2021, he's got a finger dislocation. 2022, a knee strain. A month later, an MCL sprain. 2023, calf strain. And at the end of that year, the hand wrist tear. And now we have this year, which, what is it? What is it this year?
Nothing so
Is
far.
he hurt?
He's not hurt yet?
No, he's just recovering from the wrist thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude,
That's fucking insane.
so he got killed by Washington, by the Chargers, by Kansas in the Super Bowls when he got the MCL sprain.
Yeah.
Ravens, good God. He's got hurt against the Ravens twice. So,
Dude, them Ravens kill him. They kill him. Uh,
Hey,
I mean consensus majority. I'm fine to say Burrow at 1, Hurts at 2. Um, that's fair. It's a fair point.
yeah, I think if I don't know anything about the Bengals, but if you put Joe Burrow behind the Eagles O line, I think he might look like Peyton Manning.
it's a great point.
That is a fair point. That's a fair.
That's a
But low
great
key,
point.
wouldn't a lot of these quarterbacks look like Peyton Manning behind that Eagles O line?
Yeah, but behind the Bengals O line, he already looks like Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I think if you put Jalen in the Bengals organization,
Hmm.
he's like getting into fistfights with people.
That could be true too.
I could see that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think he'd succeed at all.
So we got the consensus rankings: Burrow, Hurts, Love, Herbert, Tua.
That's fine. Yeah.
Pretty good. Let's jump to 2021.
Do we have to?
I got a hot take for this one, and Caleb's gonna be kind of into it. He's gonna be pissed off that it's coming now, but let's look at the
You're saying
QBs.
you're
I got
saying Fields #1, huh?
I am gonna say Fields #1. We got Lawrence, Jones, Fields, Lance, Wilson.
As far as quarterbacks go,
This isn't even the worst on this list. This isn't even the worst of the years on that we're gonna talk about, and that's the
yeah,
worst part.
yeah.
Do we just want to put Lance, Wilson, Jones as the back three?
I think we can just delete him from the doc and call it good.
I'm gonna keep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Is
keep
Trey Lance even an NFL player?
No, he might not be. I'm gonna keep Mac Jones on the list just because I thought it was funny when he hit the gritty in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, Mac Jones went to the playoffs and the Pro Bowl his rookie year.
Yep. Zach Wilson. I took Trey Lance off though, but Zach Wilson's clearly the worst. Now comes the Fields Lawrence conversation. I kind of honestly, with the success on the Steelers, I think that I might be leaning that Fields is better than Lawrence right now. Like hot take.
I mean,
I don't know.
success? Didn't he have like no touchdowns in the first like 2 weeks?
They have an average of 1 touchdown per game.
Yeah, but that was like 3 in the 3-week, like week 3, right?
Yeah, man, but they're 3-0. They run the ball a fuck ton. They're running the ball.
They run the ball and they've got T.J. Watt.
Yeah. I mean, what are the Jaguars doing? They're 0-3. Sorry.
Yeah, I
feel
got
like
unserious football organization.
I think
and the
I'd take
Steelers might be like
Trevor.
the most serious.
Really? See,
I
I
think
feel like
Trevor's better.
I feel like at this point, like stat wise, if you're just looking at straight stats, Trevor Lawrence's stats through his first 4 year are literally the same as Gardner Minshew, and we're not talking that Gardner Minshew's this fucking goat. You can even take the Urban Meyer year out, and it's still not looking great. I think that the hype of Trevor Lawrence is that we haven't calmed down from when we thought how much we thought he was going to be good. Maybe I'm in the minority with that opinion, but I just
Could
think
be, man. I just watched a lot of Fields football, and just from like the eye test, he kind of looks like, at least in Chicago, he looked like he was panicking out there, bro. Run. Now, it could be coming to a close here that he's actually learning how to sit in the pocket and stuff, but that's just what gets me, dude. I watched a lot of Justin.
I feel like I mean, I've watched more Justin than I have Lawrence, and it feels like they almost have opposite issues in a sense. But I just feel like right now, at this very point in time, like I run into this problem of like, is Trevor Lawrence like truly is how many times can we say that this is a coaching issue? Because now we're running into the same issue where people are wanting to be like, oh, Doug Peterson is not using Lawrence efficiently, or like that the OCs are bad, and it's like we were trying to put fucking Doug we were trying to put him up for coach of the year 2 years ago. Like what changed?
Well, wasn't Lawrence playing hurt a lot of last year, like grinding it out, trying to not like.
Well, no, he just got hurt. Like he ended the season hurt, I believe. Like the first
I
portion.
thought he played like the last like 2 months of the season through an injury that would have been reasonable to just not play with. That was the impression I got.
No, he did take time off. He played. They went 8-1 and then he got hurt. And then I think towards the end he came back for the last 2 weeks and tried to play. I don't think it was 2 months though.
I'm not saying he missed 2 months, but I thought that Lawrence was dealing with like proper ass injury for a substantial chunk of last year.
He went out.
But I could be wrong.
I think as far as I'm remembering, he went 8-1. You could fact check this as well. I think he went 8-1, and then got hurt, missed a month or so, and then I think they tried to bring him back because the Texans caught up.
Yeah, I know he was dealing with that injury stuff, but I don't know. It's a tough call, dude. If I had to put the team into the hands to trust this player to make the right decisions all the time. I've seen a lot of game-ending fumbles and interceptions from Justin Fields. Where the moment is like it's a 2-minute drill to win the game, and he just can't. So
I,
I
I
would go Trevor.
you know what? Maybe that's fair.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence had a high ankle sprain from week 13 last year.
Hmm.
And that's the one that everyone's always like, oh no. So I think it's hard. Also, like, I have a hard time giving Fields a bunch of credit because he's playing now with, like, maybe the most serious football organization, like in the Steelers.
That's true, but
Right.
also,
And
yeah, I mean,
Jackson's might kind of be kind of clowns, a little bit.
I
Clown adjacent.
that's true. Keep in mind, I mean,
Adjacent.
they traded Kenny Pickett for Fields and said that Fields is a better guy than Pickett. 1 year off. They let him start for 1 year and they said, "We're good."
His last name's Pickett. I don't know why you got him playing quarterback. I'm just saying.
That might be true. But I don't know. It's
Well, they wasted no time. They wasted no time at
no,
all.
I don't know. It's a weird situation. I kind of want to see what Jacksonville does this year and how long the Steelers' success does. I want to see the Steelers play a real organization, like play a real football team, and then maybe that might change my perspective.
True.
If it, I don't, yeah, like I feel like the issue that I'm running in right now is maybe that Fields, like they might want to use Fields differently, but they're playing a bunch of teams where it's like we don't really need to be slinging this ball. We're like doing a whole lot. We got to just get to chill.
I was gonna take Steelers for the pick'em today. They're playing the Colts,
Dude, you should
and
have taken
I was gonna pick Steelers to win.
you should have taken fucking the Panthers last year, bro. It was a fucking lock. I told you, and your bum
I
ass
should
didn't.
have. And I watched a lot of people pick Vegas actually and got eliminated. 'Cause they're
Bums.
like, oh, I can't lose. I'm gonna pick an easy one, and then they lost.
Anyhow,
But I'm
Steelers.
thinking I'm picking Steelers over Colts today.
that's a
How are we
good lock.
feeling?
That's a good one.
Okay.
Um. Okay, so
I think we,
2020.
I think
Mad
we can
too.
Oh,
we can evaluate Fields in 3 weeks when he plays the Jets.
there you go. Okay, 2021.
Even then, dude.
We got
Or
Lawrence.
Christmas when he plays the Chiefs.
Yeah,
My bad.
we could just keep doing it. No, you're good. 2021. We got Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. Crazy list. Now for the one that hurts. 2022. The starters so far: Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Sam Howell, Bailey Zappi, and Brock Purdy. We know what number
Okay.
one is. It's not even a question. I'm just going to
Okay.
move him now. Now, the dumpster fire zone.
Oh my God. Let's argue last place first.
Okay. Desmond Ridder.
I was
This
gonna say
is tough,
Desmond.
dude.
I'm saying
Between
Desmond.
yeah, for me it's between Desmond and Kenny.
I'm going Desmond.
You're going Desmond?
Kenny looked like a competent starter. Desmond never did. I've never had faith in Desmond.
I don't,
I've had faith a
dude.
couple of
When
times
Malik
in Kenny.
was drafted, he looked pretty terrible too. Like it's good that he's winning now
Dude,
a little bit, but he looked pretty bad.
I think we put Malik down there in the basement as well.
I'm saying
Mostly
this.
basement this year, but
I'm putting him over Ritter. That's my personal take. Maybe because of bias, but I've seen
Are we
Malik
putting
Willis.
him over Kenny?
I've now seen Malik Willis perform 2 games better than Desmond Ritter ever has.
You
And
putting him over Kenny?
I don't
Or
think
what?
so. I don't think Kenny's as bad as he was. I think the issue really was OC last year. But am I putting Sam Howell over him? That's the real question.
I think
I-
it's Sam.
Sam
I think Sam might be a dog.
Sam and Kenny Pickett, that's like the weird one where I'll put Kenny Pickett behind Sam Howell. I can get down with that.
Sam, yeah, I like what I see from him, but they did have to replace him pretty quick there with another quarterback.
Yeah.
But I saw some stuff that I liked, man. I think I saw him in person.
You did. You saw him at the dumpster bowl.
No.
Yeah, you saw him at the trash bowl.
Toilet.
Yeah, was that Sam?
Yeah. Sam
Dude, it might have been Carson Wentz again.
Oh, fuck, it might have been.
I might have seen Carson Wentz twice in person.
That's tough.
Last year though, it was Bryce Young versus Tyson Bagent.
That's tough.
So-
That's brutal. Ugh, gross. Just like this class. Okay, here's the rankings. Brock Purdy, Sam Howell, Kenny Pickett, Bailey Zappi, Malik Willis, Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's gross.
I'll tell you what though, that third quarter in that one Bailey Zappi game where he just went off against the Bears for one quarter.
Movie.
Movie.
Okay, Let's jump
I,
to
I
20.
was
Sorry, go ahead.
really quick. I remember one Sunday I was driving back from Big Rapids and I was listening to the Texans um Commanders game on the radio, and I listened to Sam Howell, I think like almost outduel CJ Stroud when CJ had like 5 touchdowns and Sam had like 4, and the
That's
Commanders like
so
won it on a
crazy.
field goal. It was insane.
That's insane.
I was like, this guy's a dog.
Speaking of CJ Stroud,
Who might be goaded?
yeah, let's jump
CJ
to
might be goated.
2023. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Aiden O'Connell. Movie.
Wow.
I think clear number one. We could do the same thing. It's very
Yeah.
obvious who number one is.
Yep.
Let's
Should we argue last place? Because I'm torn.
I'm torn as well because I don't know if I want to say Bryce. I don't know if I can say that Bryce Young is worse than Aiden O'Connell, but I also don't know if I could say that
Agreed.
Aiden O'Connell is the worst in this class because
Right, dude.
there's still
Right.
conversation of starting. Like I think Aiden O'Connell at a bare minimum, like the floor of Aiden O'Connell is higher than the floor of Bryce Young, and that's kind of where I might just be like Bryce Young might be the worst of the 5.
Maybe, but think about like if they made Aiden play like 20 games already. How do you think that would look?
I mean,
Right.
here's the thing. He was the starter at the end of last year. And, like, Devontae Adams wanted him to start over Gardner Minshew, which to me is, like the players were rooting for Aiden. And
Again, unserious organization.
it
the
really
Raiders.
is. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly.
Compton Raiders.
I'm down to leave it up to whatever you say, whatever everybody else says, whether
The
Bryce
Reno Raiders.
or Aiden
It-
at last.
It's
I'm fine with
hard
whatever.
because Bryce. And I saw a clip from the Panthers Giants game where a Giants staff member went up to the podium and said, and he was adjusting the mic, and he's like, "I'm 5'9". Is this mic gonna block him?" And then he goes, "Oh, whoops." Because Bryce was right there, and he walked up to the mic like,
That's so
I-
good.
"Dude, it's tough because Bryce has just been put into such a horrible situation. It's easy to
Dude,
put him last,
I'm
but
gonna
I'm
be.
torn between
Here's what I'm saying.
what I haven't seen from Aiden and what I have seen from Will Levis."
My
Some of the devil
argument.
you don't know.
My argument for Bryce Young at last is that we just saw Andy Dalton and this team that everybody said was setting Bryce Young up to fail, and he literally thrived. Had the best performance by a QB this entire season.
He did well.
And
Good
that's
for Andy.
like and that to me shows that this team can succeed. That it can succeed under like a guy who's not 5'8".
Yeah.
And that's
I mean,
where it's like
it's like having an army and then the general it's his first day.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that, perhaps we should. You think Andy Dalton's going to be that good over the course of, say, the entire season if he plays on this Panthers team?
No,
I don't think so. But I run
good,
into the
good on
issue.
him for having a good first game, but like
Here's the thing is
the
I don't
Andy
think
Dalton gets sacked 5 times game is coming.
I don't think he will, but do you think that there's a possibility that Bryce Young could perform this well on this team? I don't think so.
yeah,
That's fair.
dude.
And that's where I
How-
feel like I've seen we haven't seen a ton from Aiden, but I've seen higher peaks from Aiden than I have seen from Bryce. They're not that high.
I think
But
they
they're
just
higher.
failed him. They failed him right off the bat, dude.
I agree.
Plus, it's
Bry-
tough when you get in and then you lose all your coaches
Mhm.
immediately.
Yeah.
And like Bryce's frontal cortex isn't even done developing. He hasn't even finished puberty yet, and he's already
No.
gotten sacked a million times.
Like what if he grows another 4 inches? Like that could be a movie.
Straight up. Like I think Dennis Rodman had his growth spurt when he was like 22.
Dude, that'd be crazy. Okay. Well, I got Bryce at last, Aiden at second to last, and then let's talk about maybe something a little bit more interesting. Anthony Richardson or Will Levis? Maybe a little bit more obvious, but I think
It's
there's
tough
a bit.
because you want to say Anthony, right? But
I do, but I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can either because you made it pretty obvious that he just throws deep balls, man.
Yeah. Week 1, everybody wanted to gas that motherfucker up. And then week 2, everybody realized that motherfucker was a fraud.
Dude,
And I called it from the get-go.
What?
he's just big.
Anthony
he's just big as
Richardson.
hell.
How everybody was hyping him up. And then I said, nah,
Anthony
he's a
is
fraud.
not a fraud. Not a
He-
fraud.
he's
I don't
kind of a
think.
fraud.
Just not that good yet.
And
There's a
with
difference
all,
between
with all
not
the
being good yet and being a fraud.
true, with all the
I think,
bad we've seen from Will, I put Will below Anthony for now.
Okay, I can live with that.
Because, dude, Will already this season has made some terrible game decisions.
That's true. That is
Now,
true. Okay, let's jump into. So we got Stroud, Richardson, Levis, O'Connell, Young.
yep.
Yep, tough. Let's jump to 2024. Do you want me to just erase JJ and Penix?
Yeah. Has
Okay.
Drake May played yet?
Drake May did play like one drive against the Jets, but do we want to just erase that?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So between these three who have started,
We know that Bo Nix is the worst.
I don't know, man. He had a good game last week.
I mean, in theory, so did fucking Williams with the stat. Like, if you look at stats, Williams also had a good game. If your
It's just
argument,
tough.
if your argument is that
It's a
Williams
tough position
if
to
your
be in.
argument
Dude.
is that Williams is worse than Nix, I'd say that that's just wrong. But the Broncos have like a slightly better team, like better O line or like team setup than him.
Definitely better O line. I don't know if I would. I think I would hands down take Bears front office over Broncos front office.
I think we can say
not
that right
Peyton
now.
Manning era, but
Daniels is better than Caleb. I'm still of the opinion that Caleb is better than Nix.
we could say that for now. Now
Yeah.
the hope is that Caleb is better than all of these guys.
See, that is
That's
the
my
hope. I think I remember talking to you about this, and I said that I think Daniels is going to be the better QB. Nowhere on the
I think you
record.
did say that.
I said that at least in his rookie year, I think that Daniels has a better argument for rookie of the year than Caleb Williams. There's nothing to back this up. This is just our own conversation in private. But you know,
I mean, I like what Washington's doing. They made good free agency signings. There are at least three guys that I was tracking a lot of people, but there's at least three guys that I was tracking that went to Washington.
Yeah.
So
I like Daniels as the. I mean, Daniels is the front runner for rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, and I think that that's probably true. I don't think he should be. I kind of think Malik Neighbors has a better argument, but I think that the offensive rookie of the year is just so skewed to fucking quarterbacks that it doesn't really matter.
it is very skewed. Plus, if one of these quarterbacks finishes the season looking really good, that could sway it. Like if the first 10 games they kind of suck,
yeah,
the last 7 games are like balling, that could sway it. That could definitely sway it.
I think if Daniels performs as he is right now, that there's no way he doesn't win offensive rookie of the year. Like even if Caleb Williams like balls towards the end, I think just the season long consistency of Daniels performing at a very high level would keep him in the running that far.
True.
Counterpoint.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that Danny Dimes just funneling everything to Malik Neighbors is less impressive than Jaden Daniels outdueling the Bengals.
That was crazy.
250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Finally figured out how to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Sorry, rushed for 2 touchdowns in the first game and for 1 in the Bengals game.
Shout out all the rookies, dude, for actually throwing passing touchdowns.
Honestly, it's pretty goated.
Good for them.
I kind of hope that the rookies just figure it out. I'm rooting for their success, except for maybe like I'm rooting for Caleb Williams' success, but not the Bears organization to succeed. That's just how it is.
I just had an idea.
Oh Lord.
You know how some schools like Morris play like that 8-man football?
Yeah.
On a smaller field. What if NFL rookies all just played 8-man football?
Dude, that'd be so funny. That'd be hilarious.
No, the arena football.
Oh, dude, dude, that'd be sick.
Like the 60-yard field.
That'd be so dope.
Or any quarterback under 5'9" can opt to play in the NFL Arena League.
You know what's a really weird thing to see right now? Is college football stadiums. Is like college football is that they're playing with the old kickoff rules, and it's strange to me to see that like they're not I assume they'll adopt it like in the next year or two, but it's still weird to me.
College football is AI generated IMO, but
it is.
Hey man, I will say Georgia Bama was a movie.
When they say, even people that were undrafted that went to the NFL, even these people are miles better than college players, right? This is something that's kind of obvious, but if you put Desmond Ridder or Bryce Young in a college game, there is a big chance that they do not win that game. in my
But
opinion.
Bryce Young was like one of the best
Yeah,
quarterbacks in college football.
yeah, Bryce Young, I
Well,
disagree.
he played for one of the best teams ever
That's true.
in Alabama, right?
I'd like to say
So
that I think that happens with a lot of teams, with a lot of players. That if you throw them on like a really shitty offense, that they're not going to do great. But the Desmond Ridder argument, I agree. I agree that Desmond Ridder is not that good.
it's almost like a cop out if you have one of these big schools that do really well, and then just a lot of their players are immediately looked at. Like take Michigan this year. Michigan won the national championship. Automatically, a lot of those players are looked at. Whereas maybe 2 years ago or 1 year ago, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be considered so much.
I don't. Michigan, I think, is a poor example. I understand what you're saying, though. Michigan still has a lot of people that get drafted, like a number that would surprise you, actually. Like even before this,
They've got a good amount.
that gets
They've got a good amount.
it hasn't increased that substantial. It's just that this year, a lot of their players were seniors, so more got drafted this year than normally. But
Okay.
yeah,
And I'd say, teams that are consistently making the college football playoffs are probably full of great starters.
Mhm.
Right.
I will say,
But if you put Bryce Young, say you took Bryce Young and you put him against the best college team, and he was just a quarterback on another really good college team. I don't think he's winning, dude.
I mean, we saw.
I don't know if he is.
I'd say we actually saw that happen with Alabama when they went to the college football playoffs with Bryce Young.
We did.
And
We did.
so it's like your argument has been proven wrong.
Still, man. I don't think.
Maybe he's gotten worse. Maybe he's gotten worse since college. I'd like to point out though that a very interesting point of this is that the 4 of these draft classes include high-ranking Alabama quarterbacks: Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones, Bryce Young. Oh my God, what's the other? Tua. Yep.
Yep.
We're seeing how that's
just
going.
the Alabama thing, dude. If Alabama's a better because they're a big defensive school too, but like Mac Jones was at Alabama. They had a good season. Mac Jones gets drafted high.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, he's not a great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a little nepotism going on.
I think if you put Patrick Mahomes on this Michigan State team, they're still not that good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could go both ways.
Mm-hmm. True.
Team sport.
It is. A lot more in college than I think it is in the NFL.
They don't play for the money, dude.
They are playing for the money. They are actively playing for the money.
They are playing for the money.
They are currently playing for the money.
They
all want the money.
They're even in elementary school. They're playing for the money.
They just want the bag.
Okay. Went to an NIL camp with the Michigan State girls golf team, and the guy running it said, "I just want to be up front. The entire point of this camp is to get money to these girls."
Sick.
We bought you guys breakfast and lunch. Every other dime goes to these players.
Yeah, that's the coach we want, baby.
That's sick.
Okay. And that's why you play at Michigan State and not at Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. Or Texas. Hook 'em horns, by the way. Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns, baby. Hook 'em horns. 4-0.
What team's going to draft Archie Manning?
Ooh.
We got 2 or 3 years,
what,
probably.
2026?
3 years,
27?
yeah. 26, 27. Who's going to be
Let's
bad
take a
by
look
then?
at these. Let's take a look at these teams real quick and see who's going to be bad by then.
Raiders, maybe, I think. That was the first team that came to mind.
Who could have a top draft pick then, dude? It could be... I mean, could be Panthers again.
Can I come with a hot take?
Go ahead.
The Bengals.
Bengals trade Joe, draft Arch.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow to the Cowboys.
I think he goes to the Dolphins. I think he follows the Andy Dalton formula.
Joe Burrow to the Dolphins.
I'm trying to look at teams that like maybe are gonna keep their QB for a couple of years. The Seahawks are an interesting pick for me. That they're like up there where Geno could last another couple of years, and then they might just say, "Okay, we're good."
Arch Manning follows in his brother's footsteps, and he goes to the New York Giants.
I don't think it's his brother. It's like a nephew.
Yeah, they're brothers, right?
No, I think Arch is a nephew.
I thought they were like super old.
Yeah. No, I think Archie Manning is the nephew
They have another brother though.
Yeah, there's a third one who is a crazy receiver that got hurt and didn't like either in college or before it, but in high school he was like Peyton's go-to receiver.
Mhm.
Oh, there's 4.
But he was a super
No,
freak in
there's
terms
3.
of speed.
Okay, yeah,
What
yeah.
what team is mortgaging their entire future draft pick inventory to draft Archie Manning, and why is it the LA Rams?
Ooh. I'm gonna be totally honest. I feel like Archie Manning, it isn't gonna be like an issue. I feel like my prediction for 4 years out is that this isn't gonna be like a team that's like tanking for him. I think it's just gonna be like a freak accident. It's like, oh my god, we just had like all of our players get hurt, and we get Archie Manning too. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Like something crazy like that, but
Archie might be the face of the league, even if he's not great.
he could be.
Oh, Arch is the son of Cooper. Yes, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's the son
Yeah,
of the
dude.
brother, the other brother.
Send him to the Giants.
That'd be a movie.
The Jets.
Dude, Jets could be crazy. He goes to the other New York team.
The other Indianapolis team.
Yeah, when that comes around in a couple years. Okay. Well, do we have anything else we'd like to say? We're hitting about the hour point.
I'd like to say I predict Bears to win today. That being said, if they don't, not surprised.
I like to say I predict the Packers to win, but if they don't, I won't be surprised.
I think the Lions will win, but if they don't, I probably won't be surpized.
Yeah, that's fair.
There it is.
Hit it
There
for
it is.
the three-peat. The three-peat.
The hedge.
The hedge. We're all hedging
Triple
the bets.
hedge.
I might start hedging my bets. I'll bet on DraftKings that the Packers win, on FanDuel the Vikings.
Got 2 parlays going. I got a parlay for every possible outcome.
Yeah. How crazy? I want to know, like, if you like, how many legs of a parlay do you think you'd have to get, like, to where if you bet like the minimum amount of money you can, no matter what, you'll profit because you hit just every possible outcome. Like if you hit a 10-legger and you make 100 parlays, like a crazy 10-legger, but you make 100 parlays that has all the possible outcomes. How high do you think? I don't think the math adds up there, but how
No.
what do you think?
Minimum bet
it's
would be
possible?
$5, so you'd be putting in
No,
500
You can do $1 on a parlay.
with the potential.
If you do $1, like
Sure.
a dollar
I guess it
leg.
depends on what service you're using.
Yeah, DraftKings you can
But
do $1.
so
I gotta
let's say
think
it's
these
100.
big sports books would have thought of this.
Well, but
Yeah,
is
right.
that they're thinking of it, or is it that it's just like, bro, people aren't fucking doing making 100 fucking parlays.
No, I think they definitely have thought like I bet it's mathematically not
Yeah.
Profitable.
I bet the math doesn't work out like that.
Probably.
On some of these smaller books though, I bet on like ESPN Bet it might work.
Ooh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Or like you're betting on underdog.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's all I got, man.
it's been real. It's been fun. We'll
It's been
catch
real.
y'all later. See ya.
Later.